Hi everyone, it's been about 12 days since our last update on the marketing and expansion project. The fact that we're creating a sales team for WMS because we automated everything else and what we need now is a sales team. A lot has happened since that last update, so I want to go ahead and start putting that out now. Really, it's been great. So how did this start and where are we at? By the way, we have a sales manager. So I'm getting to that, but I'll just go ahead and walk through this from the beginning. So as you know, we opened up the marketing and expansion positions and started onboarding payments. We started using that to reach out and tag the market, get an office going, get ourselves set up, and we figured how we're going to start onboarding a sales team. So with the setup, originally we were thinking, okay, first we did this setup. So we got the office, got ourselves situated there, got stuff for the office, got lined up, got that going. That's good. That gives us a business presence so that we can be a lot more serious when we're talking to people. And then what? Then we figured, okay, we're going to go and get a group session, right? We're going to go ahead and start inviting a lot of people in from wherever, locally, and put them through, the whole training in a room and see who can do what. It's kind of like throw the mud against the wall and see what sticks. We're going to toss to everybody these ideas and see who can run with it. Well, as I got going into that, I started getting local pushback. Just guys here were saying, no, don't do that. They're saying what you need, because you're not going to know how to train them until you have a model. They said what you need to do is get the first 2 guys or so interviewed and trained. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I started reaching out. I was reaching out through ZipRecruiter, Seattle's version of Craigslist, Seattle.craigslist.org. I was reaching out to Glassdoor, Indeed, Upwork, Freelancer, LinkedIn. I started interviewing guys left and right. And what I found was the same thing another guy told me. You're going to interview like 100 people to find a guy who's good. And it's true. Started spending a lot of time just calling and talking to people, and lining up appointments, and they'd come in or they'd call in and just go through appointments with guys. Anyway, what I found was a lot of the guys who were signing up were not even local. And I was thinking, at first, that's odd. I got this in Seattle Craigslist, except it's pretty obvious they're calling in. Why? Because, hey, they work from home. So guys who do calls, they're going to reach all around the country because, they can see what they can do for anybody anywhere. So they're going to check all the big cities. And as you can imagine, a lot of guys submitting their resumes or submitting some kind of a cover letter, of course, are just in a hurry and they're not really paying attention. I knew that, and so I wanted to make sure to already be able to weed those guys out. So my process had them watching a video. That video had a link at the end of the video. And then it had instructions for starting up on the inside, taking a look around, seeing about training yourself. And what I'm looking for is guys to get started and get going, okay? So anyway, for the guys who were coming remotely, at first we were thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. We want to train people locally, right? But then the idea was, and very quickly, a couple of guys were asking me, why is that? Can't you do webinars? You always do webinars, You can put your training up and we can try it remotely. And of course, the majority of the people that are answering my ad are remote because, most places are not here. Way more places that are not here than is here. So I just went, okay, what the heck? You know what? We're going to open it up. Why would we cut that big batch of people off, especially the guys who are serious? And so we started saying, okay. So I started figuring out how to get topics uploaded efficiently. I started recording topics and putting them up. I'm like, okay, this is really, really good. And I kept talking with people and the conversation kept getting more interesting. Now, of course, most guys are expecting cash down. And the thing is, every time I talk to them about, well, I can't do cash down for just everybody who wants it because I'm reaching lots and lots of people and they're all saying, oh yeah, I can sell you stuff. Give me some cash, And it's like, we can't do it like that, So a lot of the best way of figuring out who's good was offering something like even making a payment into escrow, right? Well, here, we're going to put some money in escrow and it's going to have a timer on it, right? You've got a week to complete a simple task, right? So go in there and make 2 sales, right? If you can make 2 sales within a week, then the money from the escrow, $200 for the escrow, is yours. Okay. However long it takes you, as long as you can get it done within a week, or it defaults back to me because you didn't get those 2 sales completed. wow, a lot of people walked off. And that's when you're like, oh yeah, so many guys in the industry just don't know what they can sell. They're just simply trying to pitch to get a job. It's like, okay, well, we can't do it that way. So then I started also reaching out through, I was looking for BPOs, which are business process outsourcing agencies in the Philippines, because those guys are the call center capital of the world. I don't know if you know. They have like 785 calling centers now, some of them with as many as 2,000 people sitting across the 5 buildings around the city. Matter of fact, the best players, because they know that the congestion's so bad from traffic, and the fact is that most people would just be late to work, they have multiple buildings around the city, actually. So guys can just go to the local building, whichever's closest to them. Same company, multiple buildings, offices, big offices, spread around a single city, if you can believe that. By the way, if you look it up, like Philippines GDP is basically something like, what is it, a quarter or half or whatever it is literally from phone calls. Okay, so in the old days, it kind of felt like sweatshop operations, but now, no. Many of these are like Microsoft offices. You know, they have racquetball courts, tennis courts, they have lounges. They're very modern. They're very comfortable. The guys who do a pretty good job wind up in them. And the other thing that's interesting about them is that they are all getting their leads from the talent agencies, right? The guys who are sourcing them. So do you know what? When you're looking for salespeople, it's broken into categories. Well, first of all, when you're looking into callers, it's like, what do you do for calling? Well, I'm a VA. Okay, that's very different. What do you do for calling? Oh, I call on behalf of the dentist to ask the people to come back in because, you know, it's time for their next appointment. It's like, okay, so a lot of jobs are very cut and dry that way. But then there's also the sellers. And in the old days, I always thought of it as just simply the cold call sell. Reality check is I've been learning lately how important it is to distinguish between the guys who start off by setting inbound calls. They set up the appointments, they kind of warm the guy up. And then somebody to come in, you know, like a day or two later and work with them to close them. Okay, so closers. There's the inbound callers and the closers. Very different than just cold callers. Okay. By the way, when I say that we have a sales manager, that's all going to come into play here in a little bit. I'm getting there. So we started just reaching out and talking to these guys, and I realized very quickly, I'm searching through Google here in the US, and everything I see for any kind of a Filipino BPO is a middleman in the US, and they're jacking up the prices pretty high because, you know, they're in the US. It's the US branch. And I thought, well, this isn't good. I'm not trying to pay middlemen here. You know, I'm trying to get through to the leaders of the BPOs who have their own teams because they're already the middlemen. The money will be split between them and the guy on the team. So I reached out to some of my workers in the Philippines, and I chose one of those guys and had him go through the list, start getting the list of BPOs locally. You know, it's like the difference between me trying to go to Google what would it be, PL or PH to get the Philippines Google versus him going almost through the yellow pages by comparison, okay, just locally, right? And so he's getting the guys there locally, and we're talking at that level. And so that's been very interesting. Now, again, the same thing. Most of these, not the same thing. They're all different. Some of these BPOs really don't do sales. Some of them do sales, but they hire guys on demand. By the way, coming back to hiring on demand from the talent agencies, they differentiate. What'd you do? I was in sales. What'd you do in sales? Sold medical equipment. Okay, were you an appointment setter or closer or what? Appointment setter. Okay, great. How long have you been doing this? 3 to 5 years, but I've been selling for, 5 to 8 years. So they literally figure that out. That has everything to do with pay, everything to do with who you hire. Whether a guy's been selling for 0 to 1 years, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 8, or 8 plus. And which industries they've sold in, right? Where's their expertise? So the interesting thing again for me was, it's very difficult, though, to explain escrow because, again, we can't just give the money to everybody. A lot of these guys, when we were contacting them, my guy was contacting them through their contact forms or their email address if they didn't have a contact form. from an email from our site, mine actually, so that they'd be contacting me back. And he had my message. So he was sending my pitch through to all of them. And my pitch would invite them to watch the video because it'll streamline the phone conversation. And to sign up and look around, maybe get on my calendar link to schedule an appointment. Well, a lot of these guys I had to contend with for different reasons. First of all, most of the contact forms and most of the emails, somebody on the other side, their job is to separate what was said from the name, the email, and the phone number. That's about it. And then just send it to the guy who would call to say, hi, yeah, tell me a little bit about your thing. So to streamline their operation, they're not watching my video. They're not signing up on my calendar either. And that doesn't make them bad. It just means they have their own process, and they also have to try to balance so they don't get overwhelmed. They can't watch everyone's video. And many of them, they have their own calendar. It's like, oh, okay, I got to sign up to kind of both calendars in the same place just to make sure to block the time, for them, and also off of my calendar so nobody else accidentally signs up to the same time. So that's been interesting. And filling out other people's form. Here I want them to watch the video. They want me to fill out the form, but I don't want to fill out 100 forms. So I'm just making decisions one at a time. But I must have had 80 to 100 phone calls in the past few weeks, just talking, interviewing. A lot of the guys, their routine is to go on pay, but some of them are just asking, how many guys have you got doing this? And they are going to fall in line pretty quickly when they see that it's profitable. For some of the guys, they're starting to hit this on their own steam because they just realize that if they show us a bit, we're going to work with them a lot harder. For example, I've also found this. You have to be sensible with payments you do make. Like one guy wanted to do this. He wanted to take his BPO and offer that. Like, you guys can do this, actually. If you signed up as sales guys and you had contacts that you could work with, whether locally or abroad, you could set that up. That's cool. But just keep in mind that's going to be trickier, right? You're giving your promo code to a bunch of guys and telling them how much you're going to pay them. Okay. But you're not giving them a login, right? They're not logging in to learn how the system really works, or they're going to figure out that they can make more money by going around you. So only the guys among you who know what you're doing are going to be able to do that efficiently. Having said that, one guy was thinking this. Well, my Filipino BPO, they speak excellent English, great accents. Their culture is so similar to ours. This is why they're the capital, calling center capital of the world. They're so like us. They can work on our behalf, on England's behalf, Australia. Having said that, and they do, they really have stacks of Filipinos with the different accents. They've been practicing them. That's just part of that culture, for call centers. Okay. When you go to pay them, you have to consider what the costs are going to be. So one fellow was saying, okay, my guys are costing me $3 an hour just base. It's like, okay, $3 an hour, 8-hour day would be what? $24, like 25. And assuming no profit yet to the calling center because they're just testing it out, trying to get this thing rolling. Assume he really was able to land that deal, then fine. He's paying like $25 a day for a guy. But also, is that his only cost? No. And that's just it. He was offering $25 a sale. It's like $25, but if I only get a sale a day, I'm just breaking even, right? Except that's not correct because they're an island. So when they call out, they got to use soft phones, right? Browser-based phones, which will sound just fine, but they need to rent 800 numbers or the equivalent, local area code. They need to pay by the minute for the call connection, some number of cents per minute. And they need to pay by the minute for the call to be recorded for quality and assurance purposes, which really means somebody who's paying for all their time and paying for their minutes needs to know they're calling. But the other advantage of call recordings is what? Just simply that if somebody like me can listen to the call recordings, then I can give them very quick feedback so they get better really fast, right? That's very, very cool. Now, having said that, think about the math there. So it's easily like 5 cents a minute between the calls and the recording. So if you got 5 cents a minute, it really works out to like another $25 a day. So all of a sudden the cost to them is $50 a day, per person. So if you're only offering them like $25 a sale, that's just scary for them. Even if you offer them 50 a sale, it feels like maybe break even. If they only can do one sale a day for the first while, or if it even takes them a week to get their first sale, it's going to be a chunk of cash in. So these guys don't want to dive in unless what? Unless they're well funded already. They're not riding the edge, they're funded. And they've got some guys just sitting around who just are between jobs, don't have anything to do. So that's when they can say, Bob over here, I think I'm going to put Bob on that, see if Bob can make something like that work. And then at that point, you're asking, so how are you going to make the calls? And if they're like from Skype, you're like, okay, we got to get more professional here. I'm going to get you an 800 number. We're going to record the calls. I'm going to be able to provide you feedback on the calls. You're going to be able to do better. Now, a cool thing about helping all these guys is that they can expand the process internally. Okay. That's very good because all each place needs is like 1 or 2 guys who are good at this. And then they can invite another 2 or 4 guys to stand around and listen and get good too. That way they can hop on the phones. So we can expand this out really, really fast and cover everybody. Well, our goal right now anyway is trying to get a sales guy, an active, productive sales guy per position. Okay. So for all you guys getting those website and expansion, marketing and expansion positions at gettrialleads.com, that for every $500 you're spending, we're trying to groom a sales guy to fill that billet. All right. That basically means you have your own personal sales guy selling on your behalf. Except what? It's a co-op. Okay. So everyone knows that making 2 sales or better per day is where the money's at. So the idea is to get them on 2 or better per day. Let's say the average turns out to be like 3 sales a day. Then it's really, really huge. So if we have 50 positions bought and we have 50 sales guys making 2 to 3 sales a day, the amount you get paid is huge. It's like a 40 to 50 time ROI on the money. It can easily be. Just do the math. It's insane. Those of you who've been following what we've been doing, I've been showing people the models and it's really amazing. And these guys, we have this really fat carrot on a very short stick. If they make 1 sale in a day, they get $50. If they make a second sale in the same day, they get $75 on top of that. Plus, they just qualified for base pay. That's $12.50 an hour times 8 hours, $100. Okay. So, you know how we always say work smarter, not harder, right? I'm not a big fan of forcing someone to sit around for 40 hours a week for no reason. Say someone's got a goal. They're going to average 2 or 3 sales a day, whatever it is, 4 maybe. They want at least 2. So they already know that. Going from $50 on the first sale to $225 on the second sale, getting from 50 to 225 is 4.5 times the pay for just 1 more sale. Okay, very fat carrot on a very short stick. And then if they make a third sale, they get another $100. That's already huge. And then a 4th sale is $150, and it stays $150 for every next sale after that. So it's really, really huge. Now, I had some guys get a hold of me and say, hey, Dave, like if I'm running a BPO and I want to run teams, is it possible for you to assign me like 4 promo codes and I will hand each promo code to each of different, team leader, like 4 team leaders, right? And then that way they can work with their group using the same code. So you might have 4 guys calling through 1 promo code. And that was his question. If I have 4 guys calling through 1 code, how does it work with the commissions? And the answer is the exact same way as it would with any other promo code by itself. So that means if the first guy makes a sale with that promo code, and then a different guy, like guy number 3, makes the second sale, a little later, then yeah, that means your first payment is $50 and your second one is $75. And you just hit the $225 mark for commission for the day. The guy's like, oh, wow. So what about the third sale? Well, there you go. It's another $100 for the third sale. Now, because it's 1 promo code, you can only earn 1 base pay for the day. Base pay for the day, right? You hit the $100 for the base pay for the day. And when we talk about working smarter, not harder, we mean, what if you can make 2 sales instead of 8 hours? Let's say you make it in 4. Well, yeah, then you qualified for base pay in 4 hours. That means you're making 25 bucks an hour base pay because you're getting better. What if you can manage to pull off 2 sales in 2 hours? Well, there you go. You're making 50 bucks an hour base pay plus your commissions. Yeah, you can make 225 bucks in 2 hours that way. Okay? So it's a really good deal. It's a fat carrot on a short stick. And so anyway, each promo code can only earn 1 base pay per day, but if he has multiple people calling through it, he's leaping up through the tiered commission levels faster. 50, then 75, then 100, then 150, 150, 150, 150. So he's immediately going to be happy with that because the third sale is already 100. And then everything from fourth sale on is 150. Get it? So it's a really, really good deal. And yes, if you have calling centers or something, or if you guys operate a group and you need multiple promo codes for those of you that are interested in doing that, then that's a good way to go. And it's really huge. Now, let me keep going because this got really, really interesting after that. Even after all of this breakdown of what we've been talking about, because we've started to have people respond. As a matter of fact, let me show you a thing or two about that so it makes some sense. Okay, here's one lady. She has a BPO. She's in the Philippines. She owns a BPO or runs a BPO, whatever. She has 40 people there, okay? Some of whom, okay, I forgot exactly how many she said. She wants to put on the routine where I'd be getting them the phone numbers and setting up the call recordings. So she's just getting this stuff ready, okay? Because she's going to send that in. Now, that's awesome, because as I hear the recorded calls, real rapid feedback, going to get them going. They're going to get profitable. At first, she didn't want to do this until we sat down and went through the math, and she suddenly realized it was valuable. Okay, let me show you another case. This guy right here actually quit his last job to do this full time. And if you're wondering why, it's because he used to sell SEO anyway, or he's sold up till now SEO. So it's a higher priced package, like $1,500 to $2,500 a call. And he makes a low commission by comparison to that. A lower enough commission where he realizes this is a faster, easier sell. It's not like trying to explain SEO over the phone. If the guy likes the website, we show him with his information all through all the pages of it, and he decides to buy it, then the guy can stay on the phone to walk him through, make sure he's comfortable while he makes that purchase. And literally within 2 minutes of the purchase, that guy's website is totally live. So now that his website is totally live and everyone sees he's happy, right? Then the sales guy can get off the phone. Talk about great customer service. Literally, when the question is, how long will it take to get the website ready? The answer is the way you see it right now. That's how you're going to have it after you buy, and it's going to be live in a few minutes. I'll literally walk you through it on the call and make sure you're happy before I leave the call. Now that's awesome. Totally awesome. Talk about great customer service. And you make sure they remember the promo code. Because for the duration of this promotion, while we're onboarding new clients in the different industries, for our new templates, so that we can have a bigger portfolio of the new template releases we're doing to show everybody our happy clients, those guys, you guys who are buying now. Well, if you're willing to bend, we're willing to bend. So we'll drop the price from the typical $795 down to $195 if you're willing to buy now, so that we can build up our portfolio. Okay? Yeah, you'll get a full admin panel. It'll be easy to operate. It'll be on the domain name you want, on a full-fledged cPanel. Whole thing's going to be awesome. You can either get it to replace an old website. Like, for example, somebody was wondering what the differences are. What if you have an old website, no traffic? Well, you should probably get a new website anyway so you can have a crack at rank. These are rank-ready websites. Getting into them takes care of most of it. Start putting a little bit of promotion out there. That'll take care of the rest of it. Okay. What about a website that's really old, but it's getting a lot of traffic and the guy's making sales? Well, he's probably making like 1% conversion. I mean, we can figure that out easily enough. How much traffic and how many are buying, right? He's getting like a 1% conversion of the people who are coming to his website because his website looks cartoonish or old or funny or doesn't have any clout. So if we replace it with a much nicer, better, more modern website, maybe he goes from a 1% commission to a 2% conversion, or maybe even a 2.5 for a 3% conversion. He could double or triple his money by doing nothing differently except replacing the base website. Okay. What about guys who are in the game? Well, guys who have great websites and a lot of backlinks, they understand the value of backlinks, and they understand that they have to keep getting more because they diminish in value. Well, the way to keep them from diminishing is to get more websites for yourself and backlink yourself. They promote you directly as well as backlink you. This drives your cash flow up and brings other websites up and rank on their keywords. Better for you all the way around. So it's easy to sell 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 websites to a single client in a single phone call, especially at this price. Will a guy think, you know what, I want to get 10 for $1,950 because, you know what, I want to get 10. Then great. Somebody just covered all their base commission for the entire week, plus what do they get for the payouts? 50, the commission's 50 plus 75 plus 100, and then 7 times 150, right? That can be one phone call. Not only that, you make sure the guy remembers the promo code, because for the entire duration of the promotion, that promo code can be used with any other template on website-installer.com. So if he has a buddy in the roofing business, and that buddy's got a website that's ancient because his brother built it for him way back in the day, you know, he can walk him through how to buy a roofer template from here with an admin panel and share the promo code with him to get him the deal. You get it? So that is awesome. By the way, people cannot just sign up to get their own promo codes and buy from themselves. It doesn't work. It rings up as an invalid promo code. So anyone trying to do it is just not going to work. But yeah, you got to use somebody else's promo codes. Okay? And what we're doing anyway is just talking about it like the promo code, right? When you talk to the clients, it's the promo code that allows the discount, not your promo code. It's the promo code, right? Having said that, it's pretty amazing to me that guys in the know, that guys who just realize that they can do this, they're hitting it really, really hard. Here's another guy. The guy is Australian but Filipino born, and he's got his wife and him live in Australia. She's pregnant, so she has time to sit at home and call. She doesn't mind. That's something she's cool with. And he goes to the Philippines for 3 weeks and then comes home for 1. Goes back out for 3, comes home for 1. That's what he does. And so he's got a call center in the Philippines. And he's gotten so excited. This is what he has to say. He signed for an extra 6 seat rentals today. Interviews for new employees are tomorrow and Wednesday, with formal offers to be given out Thursday. And training to begin Monday, the 1st of July. He meant 2019. Okay. It will be 1-day training. So official start with employees on the phones will be Tuesday, the 2nd of July. We might have a couple of trial calls on Monday, depending on the time it takes to get through the training. I will also continue calling as well from the 100 you gave me. I've so far called 20 on Saturday. Most responses were callback during the week or they didn't pick up. I thought best to call Monday. I've gone through all the training twice now. We'll go through again to compile all the workers, and I think you get the point, right? I just took the snapshot off my phone at that point because I wanted to share it with Wendy, our new sales manager. And yes, I'm getting to that. Here are 2 bits of feedback I gave that guy already. Don't call on Monday. Warm people up on Monday. Turn it around. Turn an outbound cold call into something that feels more inbound. By the way, Wendy taught me that that's important. And it made so much sense when she explained it. She said on Monday, either if you call and get a voicemail, leave a voicemail message with the guy's demo link. Hi, we made a demo website for you. It's a rank-ready website. It's just $195 if you're interested. It can either replace your existing site or be a second marketing channel, leading traffic to you as well to create a second income stream. Here's the link, yourhvacsite.com/438, or whatever the link would be, mainroofer.com/123. You know, whatever it is for whatever industry, because we're opening a bunch. Nursing home, HVAC, driveway contractor. We've got more, okay? And by the way, how many leads are in these things? Plumbers, like 40,000. Nursing homes, 40,000, okay, nationwide. All right. Driveway contractors, like 30,000. Plumbers is actually 80,000. The HVAC is 40,000. And nursing homes is about 40,000. So it's fascinating. How many leads can a guy call in a day? About 100. Okay, that's why we assign them in 100 batches, to new guys, right? Because they'll have like 10 to 15 calls an hour, just depending. Many will be short. Some could be longer conversations. And it's going to come out to something like 10 to 15 calls an hour, okay? Or about 100 calls a day. We can get the leads at the rate of 5,000 per hour, okay? For any of these industries that we decide to open up. So we can keep 50 salespeople busy for an entire day with a single hour of getting the leads ready. Another way to put it is a single day, we can have enough leads for 50 people to call for an entire week. By the way, can we just do more than that? Yeah, of course. It's just with the process we're using right now, that's the speed we go. Are there faster processes? Absolutely. All right, so I wanted to make these points though, and let me continue going because I think you guys see what's happening. We're on the verge of making sales, and when you do the math, it's pretty cool. What if you got 6 guys making an average, 2 sales a day until they're more like an average 3 sales a day or 4 sales a day? How much money comes back? Okay, it's a lot, and it's a co-op. So all you guys who have the $500 positions, the marketing and expansion positions, you get paid on every position you have, right? An equal share. So it's a really big deal. And we have more. What do you think this guy's going to do with the 6? Somebody who's gone through all the training twice, going back through a third time. As he gets some of these guys good, what do you think he's going to do? Have everyone else learn from them. Even if just 2 of them are good, he's going to have the other 4 listen to them to get better. There are enough leads for everyone. There won't be any competition. Okay, let me step into Wende appears. Wende Meister. Okay, here's a quick bio on her just to give you a clue. We're excited to be adding Wende Meister to our team as WMS sales manager. She was my sales mentor for about a week as she got used to what we had until she decided she really wants to do it. Okay, Wende, let me just go ahead and point this out. She has over 25 years of sales management experience, and it's really spread out, including NBA arena sponsorship sales. In other words, selling the $80,000 sign placement on the side of the wall, so, for Coke or Pepsi or whatever it is, so that when you're sitting there and you watch the basketball game happening and you're seeing like the Avis rental car sign, that's the kind of thing that she does. Okay. Broadcast advertising, product placement endorsement, that kind of thing. Sales within the movie picture industry. So when somebody's talking in the movie and they hold up the can of pop or whatever it is and you can see the label, right? She's behind that, okay? This is this girl. To add to her 25 years of media experience, she's a travel book author and contributing freelance editor for various magazines, including Seattle Magazine, which featured her Northwest Golf Course series. Wende was known as the voice of the Seattle Scout on Como AM. She's currently the producer and host of a long-running, regionally syndicated radio show called Weekends Around the Northwest. She talks all the time. She talks to people all the time. She makes them feel good all the time. Okay. Anyway, her show is heard throughout Washington State as well as parts of Idaho, Oregon, and British Columbia. And she's been doing it for over 20 years. Okay. The kind of thing she would say is this. I asked her, what would you say is a quick quip? She said, one thing I have found through the years in working with all kinds of different sales individuals is it doesn't really matter what the product or service is. The key to being successful has always been through clear, transparent communication with your client or prospect. I guess you would say, don't sell it, just show it. Let them mull on it enough in those moments to go, oh, I get that. She said, my best advice early on, take the time to breathe and listen to what they have to say. You're in no hurry to make the sale. Believe me, it will come back to serve you in the end. It means something that you take the time to listen to what they share. I've had people buy from me who said, I don't even need what you're offering right now, but where do I sign up? Yeah, that happens. Bottom line, enjoy the moment and have some fun. In simple terms, it's not just about closing the sale or the deal at hand. It's about creating trust and building that ongoing relationship, which can be developed and nurtured for long-term satisfaction for all. Wende Meister. By the way, when people are reaching out and getting sales, they're going to want to keep a record of who they sold to, because we have new things to offer, lots. Okay, this is just warm-up stuff. There are going to be higher commissions, higher payouts, different things happening as we go further into this. We're just starting them off with something simple to get their feet in the door so they can land solid and see what's going on. You know what the next step is for these guys? And Wendy liked that idea. I asked her and she thought that was awesome. It's this. The website where people go to make the purchase for $195. We have a copy of it somewhere else. Different website, but it's identical. And it has all the same templates and everything. The only difference is that the prices are higher. So now your promo code, instead of taking it from $7.95 to $195, takes it from $7.95 to $4.95. So the commissions are higher too. Okay. What's the point? That the salespeople, when they get used to doing the first step and they're getting good at it and they're wondering what they can do to earn more commission, second step is back and forth chat with the guy on the other end of the phone. They'll be able to feel out better whether they're able to buy something at a higher amount or whether they're excited enough and they would want to buy at that higher amount. So when that guy's interested, they can send them to the higher level website to make the purchase as though that's where they were going anyway. But for those calls where the guy is kind of nervous, he's not sure, maybe doesn't have the cash, but yeah, he could spring $195. You got the feeling that if you think he can't go high, just aim for the other website, the lower one. Two websites, same promo code, just different prices. That's it. So the value of that, I'm sure you're getting already, is that if the guy can't make the higher level commission, which is what he wants to aim for, but if he doesn't feel like he can do it with certain calls, he doesn't have to lose the sell. He can go for the lower end sell, right? And that's easy. And he'll just make his call and develop a sixth sense. What's the advantage of him learning how to do that outside of the fact that we all make more money? He's getting to develop a sense of how to talk to customers at different levels. Because we have things for sale that go up to $40,000 that people buy. Okay, so when we can get the sales crew moving up through the ladder onto bigger and better things, that's great. We just have to start them somewhere they can start and move them forward from there. Okay, what else have I got here? Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Okay, so there's that. I showed you guys all this. Yeah. When Wendy appeared, she started to really blow my mind. She just started to show me things. Let me see. Over a weekend, she just started creating training tools for all these guys. Different things that they need to know and broken down in a way they can download and just review. Even print out, okay, some of this stuff. And it blew my mind how efficient she was about this, right? And she started in. She said, inbound, outbound. She goes, if you start off by texting people or voicemailing people and saying, hey, we did a demo for your website, did a demo for you, a demo website showing you what we can do for you. Please take a look. It's right here. yourhvacsite.com/1432. Okay, if you like it, please give me a call back. We'll follow up with you tomorrow, see if you had a chance to see it yet. Whatever. I mean, there's different ways you can do that. So very quickly, you can basically say, hi, here's a demo we did for you. We'll call you tomorrow or the day after. We'll call you in 2 days or we'll call you tomorrow to follow up and see what you thought. So when you reach out first like that, then what's the point? When you reach out the second time, the tables are turned. You get to ask, hi, did you get a chance to see the website demo we sent you a couple of days ago? See, all of a sudden the tables are turned. Now, of course, Wendy would say find common ground in those first few seconds. Be quick to be polite and nice with the guy. After all, you're calling, interrupting his day. But she's saying this is the kind of way that you warm this up. Instead of just jumping on a guy, right? You sort of warm him into it and follow up. And then when all is said and done, you either text him or email him. A small form, it's one of these things that comes afterward, just sort of talking about here's what we discussed. Here was your demo link. Here's my name and my promo code, my email or phone, to reach back to me if you have any questions, before your purchase, whatever. So we can go through these industries and we can get as many people going as want to go. So anyway, she started it. She started to create, she said, okay, Dave, you're creating knowledge-based topics. And then at one point you got past all that, you're starting to create strategy topics. Put them into different folders. Knowledge-based here, strategy there. That way, when guys appear and they go straight for the strategy folder and they start to call, people ask them questions and they're thinking, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll have to get back to you on that as well. Then they're going to realize, wait a minute, maybe I should go to the knowledge-based topics first and get that down and then come back to the calls, the strategy, and keep going from there. So Wendy is helping me do all of this kind of thing that I should know. And as she explains it, I instantly recognize it. But I've just been inside the system for so long, I'm not that good at it. So I am absolutely happy to have her with. She was asking, can we get the names of the managing member, at each of the companies? We can say, hey, is Tom or Bob there? We did a website demo for you a couple of days ago. We like to follow up and see if you got a chance to see it. And so when you can do that instantly, it keeps them from hanging up. It gives a chance for the conversation to continue. Okay. She asked me, do we have any gifts to break the ice? Well, you guys know us. There's so many things that we can provide as a gift to get a conversation going, get somebody's interest up, right? To make it easier to come back to these guys. Okay, so she committed, she started creating training documents and she started going through how this works. She said for all the guys that we hire who are inbound, they do all the inbound stuff, the warm-up stuff, and then they're going to hand the people over to, a senior consultant who's going to be able to talk them through the bigger deal, and that'll be the close, right? So it's really fascinating. Anyway, I think we got about 55 website installer signups in the past 2 weeks from the job offers we put out between ZipRecruiter, Seattle's Craigslist, Glassdoor, Indeed, Upwork, Freelancer, LinkedIn. Just really, really interesting to see what's happening. And yeah, we're going to keep opening new industries, a website installer, right? And by opening new industries, right, just putting leads into different industries, we give people different choices. See, if some sales guys don't know how to talk to HVAC guys, they just don't know, they can try the calmer, quieter approach of talking to the nursing home folk about their presence in their local community and what website are they using to show, oh, that's a very nice website, but I'd like to show you one that I think you'll like even more, and so on. So that's a good way to go. And then there's some people who just work in some of these industries and they know what's going on in the industry. They can talk more efficiently with those guys right away. Okay? So that's a really neat thing. So how can you get involved? Things to do. How do you get involved? I want to walk through that real quick because there are 3 great ways to get started if you want to get involved to make money. Okay? 1, you can join our sales team. WMS, by the way, is Website Marketing Solutions. That's our company. So the sales team's being trained at Website Installer for what they have. But we have so many things for sale that they can grow through. There are going to be a lot of departments and opportunities to sell different things at different levels. Okay. If you want to join the WMS sales team and learn how to do this and get coached by Wendy and get good at either inbound or closing, sign up here. Website-installer.com. There's a sign up link at the top. Then sign in and hit promo code insights. When you do that, you'll be able to go through the training, about 3.5 hours of training. Okay. And when you're ready, you can request leads and start reaching out to tag prospects and to make calls to earn both base pay and commissions. Okay. That's one thing you can do. A second thing you can do, and you can do both, you can support the growth to get paid well. It's a crowdfunding concept for those of you that don't know about this. Okay. You would sign up here if you haven't already. GetTryLeads.com/LPE. Okay. That's just because an earlier version of the program was landing page expansion. Okay, so it's just all the programming is there, so we never changed the acronym. Anyway, gettrialleads.com/LPE, and definitely put the final slash or the page will ring up as an error. That's what this is saying. Make sure to include the final slash. That one. Okay. And when you sign up, it'll give you a passcode. And so now you use your email and the passcode. Obviously, write the passcode down. That way you can log in here. gettrialleads.com/admin. Use your email and the code you were given when you signed up. In the left menu, click LPE websites. It's a link. And get any positions that are available, that are left. You don't have to go in order. There's no limit. And the positions are 500. I'm going to show you what this looks like in a second. Matter of fact, let me do it now and then I'll break down the example because it's pretty cool. Think about it. You're going to go and sign up at gettrialleads.com/LPE. Won't take you long, just a couple of fields and boom. And when you get signed up, okay, you log in on gettrialleads.com/admin. You'll never go back to the LPE again because you already signed up. So you just log in at admin. Okay, so remember admin. Right? You'll log in as an LPE owner with whatever your email and passcode is. Boom. When you log in, okay, there's a link over here called LPE websites. When you hit that, it brings up all the positions that are available. That's all of these. There are a bunch because we want to make this as available as possible to as many people as possible before we close it out. As soon as our guys start making consistent calls, we're taking everything else down and it'll be a closed environment. Those of you who got positions get paid on them. Those of you who waited and didn't get positions, didn't help us grow the group to make this happen, you're just not going to be in it. Okay? The turnaround is so huge for these campaigns. Okay? And it's because you guys are helping us spend the money and the time necessary to build this sales team. Right? So you're funding it. You're basically crowdsourcing it. And so every position you get in here is worth something to you. Okay. And I'll break that down in a minute. I'm just walking you through the rest. You would hit claim website. Doesn't matter which one you get. These are not really websites. They're representative of positions. Like this is the whole marketing and expansion position, right? Sales team, SEO, backlinking. Okay. It was just, for those of you who understand where we're headed, that's like the whole thing in a nutshell. Anyway, so it just happens to have this URL to keep track. But the numbers, 63, 64, 65, they're just equivalent shares. Okay, they all get paid equivalently. They're all the same thing. They all have the same tier. They all have the same cost. Okay, they're only numbered to keep track of them, right? So you know which ones you own and we know which ones you own, but they're all the same worth. So it doesn't matter which ones you get. They're all the same. All right, so when you hit claim website, opens it in a new tab and just verifies it for you. Website URL /66, it's shared, this is the industry, that's the amount. Do you want to claim it or go back to the list? Well, if you go back to the list to get another one, it was just a different number. But if you hit claim, there you go. It takes you right to PayPal, where you can either pay through PayPal or through a debit or credit card down here. So you just log in to make the payment up here. When you log in, it'll review the thing with you. It won't charge you right away. When you log in, it'll say, this is what we see you want to buy. Is that true? And you can continue there. Pay with debit or credit card. If you hit this link, it opens this page over here. If you want to know how to track the individual purchase, then up here where the number is, hit that. It's telling you it's website-expansion.com. You can already see it, but if you hit more, yeah, that's the whole thing, right? The /66. That way you know what you're getting. And when you get your receipt, it's going to have that. You're going to have proof of purchase, okay? So down here, you would just put all your credit card stuff, okay, and you'd pay. You do not need to join PayPal to make this happen. So anyone who has a credit card but not a PayPal account, just do it this way, okay? Now, what's this payout? Okay. Again, it's a co-op. It's the average earnings from everyone. That way you don't have to be afraid that your salesman is not any good. Anyone who's not good, we get rid of. Anyone extra, we add in. You're getting a share from the co-op on the whole thing. Okay. What you're getting is half our profit after our expenses to make all of this work. Okay. So here's basically how this would look so you get the idea. The positions are just $500 each. Our goal is to have the equivalent of one salesperson for each position. Okay. You're paid via the co-op share. That's 50% of our profit with payments weekly on Monday. What's that mean? 50% is divided across all the positions. Okay. That's why we want one salesman per position. That way you're basically getting 50% of the profit from each salesperson. How's that for cool? That's the goal. So as an example, at an average 2 sales per day, 5 days per week, your share can be around $20,000 per year, which is a 40 times ROI. Okay, massive. Again, if you're wondering, I wonder if my salesman will try that hard. That's why we did the tiered commission system. Remember, first sale, the guy makes $50 and he's excited as soon as he closes that sale. That's good, cool. He feels like he's on a roll. He just made $50 and guess what? Now he really wants that next sale because that's going to bring him to 225. It's literally 4.5 times as much money as the $50. One more sale. And not just that, he can just keep going. If he gets that sale, he can aim for a third. That'll pay him another 100. Okay. If he can get a fourth, that's 150. And he can get those sales through one guy or two. Doesn't have to be 4 phone calls. It could be 1 phone call's going well. The guy's smart about business. He understands about things like backlinking. He's seeing the value in getting multiple websites. And he decides to get who knows how many you can walk him through as an idea. Maybe he wants 4, maybe he wants 10. Okay, it's pretty wild, but that's really what can happen. Our biggest client has 7,000 of our websites. Imagine if you sold that. Okay. As soon as the sales start happening, we're going to be taking down all the remaining $500 positions. The positions that people own will form a closed group at that time. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. Because it'll grow internally and just keep growing. The guys who were part of it earned it. They're the ones who bought in and helped us make it happen. They're the ones who are on the inside. The guys who don't buy into the positions because you're waiting for first it to be like 10 times more profitable before you leap in. If you think that we're still going to have $500 positions out there once it's really, really obvious that we're generating this, no. But everyone who's followed through knows what's going on. Selling these websites with the demos for each company, the company can see themselves in the demo. Some are going to want it. We went through Reference USA and we took all those guys' websites and we just started going through them. Do you remember what that was like? We did that in a different video. Every other website sucked. It was bad. It was ancient or only had a few pages indexed. It was old, didn't get touched. Google saw no change to it in 3 years. And so it's not fresh. So it's not ranking anymore anyway. These guys need to get new websites. Half of the industry has lousy websites. I had somebody ask, isn't it true though that, every time I go on the front page and open something, it looks like a pretty good website. It's like, yeah, they're the guys on the front page. Try going to page 4 of the results and open some things there. Then you'll see the crap. And they're like, oh, yeah. See, most of the websites are not on page 1. The ones on page 1 are the ones that put some effort into it. Okay, there you go. Guys who leap in and do right, rank-ready websites, that gives them a huge fighting chance, gets them up there. And for $195 one time for the whole year, and they're locked in at $195 per year if they keep it up and we just keep maintaining it to make sure it's stable, then if they want upgrades, we can do that. Every year, we can show them the next thing we have, and in the meantime, we have services for them, copywriting services, images for them, image services, and guess who gets to pitch those? The sales guys. Okay, those packages will be made available and can be bought with a promo code, and there you go. It's a really big deal. All right. What else? So far you can get these $500 positions. This is what most people do if they don't feel like they can or wish to sell. If you want to be passive, that's what you do. You get these $500 positions because you don't do anything except for watch our growth and see what's going on. You let us do everything because we're just making it happen, right? You guys who've been with us a while, you know we've automated everything and all we need is a sales team, and this is it. This is what we're doing. We're getting the sales team going, and that's why I'm showing you all this stuff because, I mean, these guys, you throw enough mud against the wall, it starts to stick, and then you tell everyone else behind you, hey, they're doing it. Do you want in on that? Pay the first guys a bonus for the recordings and then share with the other guys so that they can catch up. And next thing you know, we have a bunch of profit centers, right? And when I have somebody like Wendy guiding the way, everything I don't do well, she does well, okay? She can take what I give and distill it and hand it to the sales guys, okay? And that's her interest. It's her job. She wants to, okay? So, just so you know, third thing you can do, this is thinking a little further out for those of you that are interested. You can buy a template from websiteinstaller.com and pay to have it converted to an awesome template for a new service or business industry. Do you guys know what that takes? It's $50 for an images change out, right? So if we take any template you like the shape of the template for a certain industry that it doesn't belong to right now, but you're like, I'm going to pay $50 to change all the images on it to whatever I do like. Now it starts to look really good. Then what? You're going to pay some money for changing out the verbiage, the content to fit the new industry so that we can put global variables through it. And all of a sudden that thing is primed and ready for the salespeople to sell. We're going to add leads to it for your industry and put it out there. What's the total cost of doing it? First, you get the template, then you spend $50 for the images, and then you spend however much you want for the content. It's like $100, $200, $300. You'll probably spend $200. Those of you that want to make it really nice so the salespeople can show it off, you might spend $300 or $400 so that template has even more pages of great content. Okay? Then we will go get the leads. You don't need to pay for that. We'll put the leads into the template and we will announce to the sales crew it's ready. Why would you go through that hassle? Because we can add it to websiteinstaller.com as a new project, giving the sales team, therefore, more choices of stuff to sell. The more we bring in, the more people there are, they're going to reach out and sell through the different templates, whatever industry they recognize best and have a background in. The more markets we get to reach out to. The point is that there will be a percentage payout to the owner of each template for a full year starting from the first sale of your template. We think it'll be 10%. We'll double check as we get the numbers down pat. But there you go. How would you like to have a growing sales team interested in selling your template right off Website Installer? You know, because there are just a number of people. The first people will do it because they understand the industry. Others will do it because they'll listen to how the first people pitches in that industry so that they can follow up and do likewise to earn themselves some money in that group. Okay? And in some cases, some people are actually going to pay a man or a kickback on their first few sales to learn how to get good at sales in that different industry. Got it? So this is a really good plan because you can get one or more templates ready, especially at the price we have them for now, that anyone in the new industry can want to buy. Our sales team can sell them for you. You can start to earn without having to build the entire business yourself. So you're going to have sales of your website through the industry, business to business website. In other words, service industries. They're the ones with the money. And because it's business to business, we can call them all day long. There's no do not call list. There's no spam law for contacting business phone numbers, right? That's why we can't just do MLM and call guys living in neighborhoods because that's a problem. But calling through businesses for the different industries, there are tons of industries, hundreds of industries. Each one have like 40,000 businesses on average. We can go forever. What happens when we get to the end of it? We'll just start over again. It'll be like 3 months later. So then we'll just mark out the guys who said no. We'll mark out the guys who bought. and just simply try the rest of the guys again, the guys who never answered in the first place, or you got their voicemail. Once every 3 months or so, not a problem. You might think, well, what if a bunch of people are calling them? They're not. We're assigning leads selectively to groups of people, right? So that they're not tripping over each other, right? We thought that out. All right. When you buy any template from website-installer.com, be sure to use promo code WMS123, okay? Or if you have someone else's promo code, you can use that, okay? You just cannot buy it from yourself. The system will call your promo code invalid. The purpose of a promo code is to reward a marketer for finding someone else to buy, okay? That is the purpose of a promo code, because any reason for a discount is basically paying the marketer's expenses to secure a sale. Okay, that's kind of the idea. All right. Now, those of you who join the sales crew, right, and you start selling, you get a kickback. Those of you that don't want to join, you just simply want to get a template and get it into the mix, you can just do that. Do both if you want. I mean, it's totally up to you. If I were you, I'd join as part of the crew, even maybe go through some of the training, and then see if you can pop a sell. But if you want to get yourself a website so you can get it into the mix, get it up in the system so that other guys can sell it for you and you can earn income from that, and you feel like doing that with more than one website, now's the time. Start building it up. We'll put it out there. And that's what we're doing with the guys who've been buying, building them into the system and making them available, HVAC, nursing home, so on. And that's what we'll do with the next guys who come too. And we'll make sure you guys get kickbacks from sales, and you're going to love it. You're going to want to keep rolling back into it. All right. Happy sales. Okay. Again, figure out what you want to do. Do you want to join the team and start literally figuring out how to sell? Do you want to not have to do the work? Do you want to just go ahead and sign up and pay for other guys to start, pay us to keep going and developing this team out? Because we're just inches away. You can see that. Okay. And that's the thing. I mean, we could start having sales theoretically right now. It's going to happen soon, where guys start calling and they know enough of what to say, or they leave enough voicemails, they start leaving enough text messages, they get interested guys to call them back, they get comfortable on the phone, they start answering some good questions. Then as soon as they're getting comfortable doing that, leading people in to make the purchase, all hell's going to break loose. For every different center that can do it, they're going to be able to take off with it. And those of you that are bought into it, that's passive income. That becomes an income stream for you, and this can grow to, could be 40 times ROI. Okay, really crazy. And it could be more because of the number of guys you're going to be able to sell other things in this whole system. All right. And finally, and again, you can do all three of these if you want to just double up or triple up into this. Buy one or more templates using the discount code, right? So that you can do what? You can have them refashioned for the industry you love. Maybe one that we don't have yet. Or, as some people say this, Dave, I like what I see with driveway contractor, but I really wish that you took the architect template and made a version for driveway contractor. Can I buy the architect template and pay to have you change the images and pay to have you change the contents with your copywriters to make it ready and put leads into it, but make it a driveway contractor template because I think it'll outsell the other ones. It just really looks cool. Well, okay, then we can do that. All right. If you need a quote on a price, get a hold of me. Okay. You got support@website-installer.com. Just shoot an email in, and say, hey, what would it cost to do this? Okay. I'll work with you. This is really getting fascinating. And as you know, we have so many other systems and things to share and offer and upsell guys, including guys who want to get on a revolving door package where they're buying a new website a week on autopilot. So we produce a new website per week into their industry on autopilot. Can we do this kind of thing? Yeah. Can we make sure all of the content is unique for everyone's website every single time? Yes. Okay. Totally amazing. And all we're doing is trying to get the sales guys started at a point where they can make a sale and then grow them through the process on the way. And can they have 2 different websites every time, maybe 3 for pricing? Yeah. So this is cool. Can we offer them SEO, the clients? Yeah. Can we offer them image changeouts? Yeah. Can we offer more copywriting? Yeah. These become packages people can buy. Okay. All right. I hope you found this interesting, understood what's going on, and you're figuring out how you want to get involved. If you want to get involved as a seller, sign up right here. You know how easy this is? Boom, 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 boom. And then this is optional. Just boom. Okay. And when you sign up, you'll see how to get trained and how to start. There is a contract in there if you want to send it in, for you as a seller, independent seller. Otherwise, just go ahead and go with the flow in there, because you don't need to report to us when you're starting work or stopping work. It's totally on you, right? It's totally up to you. And so you know the rules. Those of you who've been following along, you know the rules. So you know how to make it work. Payouts are on Monday after doing the computation Sunday night for the full week, right? So you got through Sunday night. I had guys say, can you call on the weekend? The answer is yeah, you can call on the weekend. You can give it a crack. Leave voicemail drops or leave text messages. See if you can do that, Just change the demo link for every text message to make sure everyone sees their own demo, right? So for those of you guys who want to do work, you can do it. Those of you guys who want to pay to get up into gettrialleads.com, sign up here if you haven't. Log in here. Go to the LPE websites link and just get what you want to get. By the way, for PayPal payouts, go to edit information and you'll see where you put your PayPal address. Our general payout method is mass PayPal payout on Sunday night, Monday morning. And that's the standard. Okay, anybody that needs payout a different way, sure, of course we'll work that out with you, especially those of you who are selling, if you're wondering about that. Mass payouts to you, that's what I mean to say. Mass payouts for the sellers too is at the end of the week when all the math is computed. And those of you that need to get paid a different way, of course, we'll help you with that. You're the sales guys. We're going to do everything we can to back you up. Okay, there you go. I think you guys get what's going on. You realize just how close we are to becoming profitable and just growing at just crazy speed. Because every one of those centers that get one guy profitable, they're not stopping. They're going to add another guy, 2 guys, 4 guys, 8 guys, 16, as many as they can. And we can handle it all. We got so many industries times so many leads per industry. There is no running out. All right.